Shazam! Hey guys, welcome to Cosmic Cinema, where today we will be discussing Shazam 2, Fury of the Gods.
We here at the Cosmic Panel love to see every comic-related movie opening night. We have to. It's the law.
Just to really paint the scene, on opening night in the busy city of Philadelphia, there was a total of 4 other people with us in the entirety of the theater. And this is not at an unreasonable time. We watched that at 8 p.m. when you think most people would go to the movies. Yeah. Pretty sure everyone that went in to watch this movie kind of knew it was going to be ass. We kind of all went in that it was going to be bad. I didn't expect it was going to be that bad.
The trailer just kind of showed that it was like a conflict. Like there wasn't even like much shown besides fighting in the trailers. There wasn't any deeper, subplot that was really enjoyable or anything like that. It was just like conflict, fight, stop fighting, fight. You know what I mean? Like that's the whole thing.
Yeah. The thing is with Shazam, and I will say this, I think the first half of the movie is good, or at least like decent. But by the second half of the movie, it's just evolved so much that you just like, it's just so boring.
Yeah.
The only redeeming part of the second act is the unicorns and the Shazam's final punching the dragon, because that was actually well shot and well like choreographed, and it actually looked good.
Yeah, with the light,
which was not what I was expecting from this film.
Yeah. It really just felt like a Disney movie, like an old Disney movie that was just allowed to reign free and do whatever the hell they wanted. And it really just dragged on for a while there and was, nothing special in the world of comic book movies, unfortunately.
Yeah, like they could have removed a half hour and then the movie would have felt like way better paced. But that says something when your movie's only 2 hours, so just saying.
Yeah.
But let's dive into some of the characters, or some. What's some of your biggest gripes with this film?
Biggest gripes, I guess would just be the portrayal of like the villains. I think it's like a fun but again very Disney idea that one of them would be like a human like blending in with Freddie and the school, whatever. But them just being so hell-bent on, getting revenge and taking the powers back, when like even Billy like tried to have a discussion about it with them and just be like, tried to explain himself, and then she was just being threatening and just annoying the whole time, the whole discussion. Like I think they were almost, they were at the precipice of like reaching like a good conclusion just by talking.
Yeah.
And then we had another hour and a half of fighting.
We don't even know why they were fighting. Like two of them just wanted so that they could rebuild their world, which is fine. Like it wasn't like it was going to destroy the Earth, and then the one wanted to destroy the Earth for no reason, and it was like, okay.
It's like, thanks.
But like she blamed humans for destroying her Earth, but it wasn't humans; it was the wizard.
Was it not just the wizard that like,
he stole their powers? Yeah.
So like,
he stole their
why are they not just pissed at him? Like, why are we taking this out on her? He gave Shazam, he gave Billy the powers. So, be mad at him.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like it makes no sense, and it feels very like counterintuitive.
Yeah.
To be like, yes, I'm instead of being angry at the guy that we have locked up, I'm gonna get angry at the entire planet that has nothing to do with this.
I think it's interesting how uninteresting just gods fighting each other is, instead of like Dr. Savannah, who
Mind Worm,
who had a human aspect to it, and they were mad because a human had the power of the gods. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's just a more interesting conflict than old ladies being mad that that some young kids got their powers. Like,
Also, they kept on calling Billy near the end like he is a true god. It's like, what do you mean by that? What do you mean like?
if he was a true god, he wouldn't have died.
Yeah, like seriously. Whoa.
I really thought they were just gonna straight up kill him at the end there.
Bro, I after a while we were buying it, you and me.
Yeah, we were buying it for sure.
They cut away from Billy just being dead, and it was like they might as well have just put like 2 weeks later on the fucking thing.
Like, I guess it was like to keep us guessing a little bit, like to just cut away from that scene and go to on to the next scene. Like, I guess that was the point. But then Wonder Woman just fucking showing up was like so goofy and out of nowhere.
Yeah, no, that felt incredibly contrived. I was like, really?
Yeah. James Gunn didn't say anything about another Wonder Woman movie, right?
I don't think so. I think he said that he was in talks about something with Gal Gadot, but I don't think about Wonder Woman specifically. Okay. I'm not a huge fan of Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, to be completely frank.
It's honestly just a charisma thing.
Yeah.
I don't think she's a compelling actress, though.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think she plays other characters fine, but I feel like for Wonder Woman, where you have to be like almost like this when you enter the room, people feel safe. People feel like, okay, everything's good now. I'm okay. I'm safe.
Yeah.
And I feel like she doesn't really have that vibe to her when she's playing Wonder Woman.
Right.
It's more like, there's a superpowered warrior. Hopefully they don't snap my neck.
Yeah.
What is one thing you actually enjoyed in this film? Just curious. Or anything.
I thought, Freddy was like the most interesting character in the whole thing, in a way. It's interesting to have, and this is what was also good about the first one, because they, dealt with this in the first one, but a handicapped character who is able to, become this strong, able-bodied superhero is like a really big thing for Freddy. He loves having these powers. He really wants these powers. And Billy thinks that, he doesn't want to be part of the family. He's, all or none, that shit. But really it's just Freddy trying to get, a lease on his own life that he feels like he didn't have before.
Yeah.
With Anna talking to him, like he feels like, oh, like a girl's interested in me. So there's a lot of good development for Freddy, I feel. And, he just wants to be his own person. And I think that's something that kind of makes him unique amongst the whole Marvel family, if you will.
Yeah.
Because the only other one that's... Shazam, yeah. The only other one that's really independent, I feel like, is Mary.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know. I think it furthered each member of the Shazamily a little bit more. So I did enjoy that. And, yeah, I mean, again, it's like you're saying, probably like maybe the first half hour, something like that. I was like, all right, this is fun.
The bridge. The bridge was probably my favorite scene.
Yeah, probably like around after that is when I sort of started losing patience.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of important scenes felt cut or edited weirdly at times.
There is some odd editing for sure.
Like it felt like we missed a scene with Mary, like interacting with college kids when she just randomly just was drunk the next day.
Yeah.
Or like hungover. And it was like, were we supposed to have a scene where she like went to a party or something? Like that would have been a nice scene.
Right. If you're gonna have, a movie that's over 2 hours with that huge of a cast of characters, I want to spend time with each of those characters. Exactly. Instead of having just, an hour long fight with random mythological beasts and shit at the end. I want more time spent on the actual characters, because again, that's what makes each of these comic book movies unique, is the characters and their story. Why are they fighting for justice? Why do they want to be a hero? That shit, that's what defines each of these movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The thing is with the first Shazam, and I think they did this very well in comparison, it was a Billy Batson movie. They established the other characters, but it was a Billy Batson movie first and foremost.
Mm-hmm.
This should have been the rest of the family's movie, and Billy should have taken the back seat.
Exactly.
Because Billy's barely in the movie to begin with. Like, I think the actor for the kid is like in there for like maybe 10 minutes in the entire film. And Zachary Gordon Levi's just in most of the film, and most of his lines aren't delivered well, and he just comes like he has the cringiest jokes. He acts way more immature than somehow Darla, who's literally like what 8 at like it's kind of wild that he's just like so different from the rest of them, and they keep on giving him screen time when we could be having time with, like, let's say Darla, and the fact that she's like the only person of color in that family other than Pedro and the father, or like the fact that she's once Mary leaves, she's going to be the only girl in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that would have been an interesting plot point. What about Mary coming into conflict with the fact that now that she is being forced to stay back, she will never be able to, like, in her eyes, quote unquote, because she's missing college, she won't be able to hold on to her life,
right,
and her individuality.
Shit like that. And they tossed out the
Pedro being gay,
kind of Billy development. Well, that, and I was just gonna say, like, the thing that his discussion with Mary, where Mary was like, "You're gonna age up soon. I'm still here, but I didn't go to college." Like, their discussions were good, I feel like, between the two of them. So yeah, just more of that, was kind of key to this film, and they sort of missed the mark there.
The time that they spent on the gods, because I feel like we barely even knew them either way. Like we didn't get any flashbacks about them at all. Did you realize that also? We never saw them once, like a single scene where their father's like saying run away or something like that, as like Shazam takes his powers or something like that, would have immediately endeared us to him, instead of like the first scene being them turning everyone into stone and then killing them.
Exactly. Because then again, you're just like, good, evil, good, evil, now duke it out. Like, yeah. Like,
you know what would have been a great intro? If Shazam almost opened it like a horror movie, where like all these gods are being like having their powers taken away and turned into ash by Shazam, by the wizard. Mm-hmm. And he's like taking it, but you don't see who it is. He's just wearing a cloak and he has the staff. And then you get to Atlas protecting his daughters, and he like pushes the daughters away and they get out. But the last thing they see is their father being turned into ash. And then reveal, you pull up the hood and it's the wizard, and you're like, oh, that's interesting. Like, that would have been cool.
Yeah, that would have been great. There you go. And I'm glad you brought up the horror of the movie, because I think both the first and the second Shazam now have aspects of horror that are really cool, but they contrast so poorly, especially in the second movie, against the tone of the comedy in the movie. Like the most evil sister, whatever the hell her name was, making the one teacher walk off the building, like, that was like genuinely like a scary moment.
That was fucked up.
Yeah, it was really fucked up, and there's like fucked up moments in the movie, but then like the rest of the movie just feels like it has no effort to embrace that, at all, like the gravity of the situation.
It was a very Death Note-esque moment, because in Death Note, light makes like a bunch of people like fall off. At least in the Netflix fucking movie, which for anything else I would never reference this fucking movie. But the one cool scene was that he made the people just walk off and spell his name by like their bodies landing, and it's like that. A simple thing like that would like be so creepy and would up the level of like the threat so much.
Yeah. So it just sort of like makes the villain serious for a minute, but then our heroes are so goofy that it's almost unbearable. Like, because
Yeah.
they were just like fucking, depowering the kids left and right, like no problem. Like it was just like, a cakewalk. It took like so much effort to just defeat the one lady. I don't remember any of these fucking names. So yeah, it's just something that also bothered me.
Yeah, it's just the only one, and it's like crazy that like, so like let's talk about Mrs. Plot Point. Mrs. Plot Conveniences, Anthea herself, or Anne as they like to call her. She has the power of access. She should literally never lose.
Yeah,
She
pretty
should
much.
literally never lose. That bolt should have never hit her and depowered her. Like why the fuck did she travel in a straight line backwards?
Well, so I for a second I thought she was right because they showed the camera going like this, but then buildings started shifting left and right. So I was like, oh, maybe she's actually kind of zigzagging or something. And the beam just somehow still hit her,
Yeah,
which is like
felt,
it's a cool moment, but for how powerful her character should be, it doesn't make sense.
yeah,
Like
and like,
visually, it's cool.
and she mentions like rearranging their organs, and it's like, God, that would be horrifying.
Yeah, she just kind of loosely like mentions that, and I'm like, if you have that ability, you could probably just stop any one of these people if you wanted to.
Yeah, just replaces Shazam's heart with his liver. That's it. And end of story. Like,
Yeah, roll
pump
credits.
blood with this heart.
Yeah, so pretty ridiculous that she was so easily depowered, and also like I love her powers, but it just
It
looked
was just
like
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange. Yeah, unfortunately, because they kind of beat them to it. So
Yeah,
oh well.
I will say the most frustrating part of this film, and I will say, is the last credit scene because we get a tease of Mr. Mind again,
The
and
mind
it's
learned
like, why was he not the villain?
like
Like
they're-
he's so
they're
funny
basically-
in like the 2
they're-
minutes that he's there.
no, he's always great, and they're almost like Thanosing him, like making him like some end all like villain that
But
they're
he's
probably
a fucking worm.
never gonna get to again.
Yeah, no, this movie is not doing well. So
There's
it's
no way
I,
they're making a third one of this.
there's literally no way. There's no way. If this gets a sequel under James Gunn's instructions, I will be very, very surprised. I think Shazam should not get another film, and I feel like, if anything, maybe put him in like a different film as like a supporting character. I feel like he's better when he has other characters to bounce off of that aren't his family. Probably.
Sure, that's fair.
I just also hate how immature Zachary Gordon Levi acts. Like, instead of acting like a teenager in a grown man's body, he acts like a 5-year-old in a grown man's body.
Yeah, basically.
And it's like, it was especially evident during the fucking the scene where they were recruiting him in the mid-credit scene where they were recruiting him for Justice Society, where he was just shooting the bottles. Like, one, why are you doing this?
I thought
like,
that was played up even more, like how childish he was, and also
Yeah.
it just felt so inserted. Like I feel like they shot that for, just like for B-roll or some shit, and then they were like, we'll make it the mid-credit roll. That's mid-credit scene. That's fine. Just toss it in there. I was really disappointed to not have that. I mean, that scene itself could have easily been replaced with a Black Adam, just like tease or some random cameo.
I know why they didn't, because one, Black Adam doesn't think that. I mean, The Rock doesn't think that Black Adam is a Shazam character. He's just like, no, he's his own character.
Okay.
Just because we have the same powers and the same origin and the same suit and the same general demeanor doesn't mean that we're in the same we're the same character, related in any way, shape, or form. How dare you suggest that, DC, the creators of the characters? Fucking hell.
Yikes.
So yeah, to wrap up our review, Elias, best film ever or worst film ever?
Worst film.
Worst film ever. Yep, indeed. So this has been the Cosmic Cinema on the Cosmic Panel. Like, subscribe, share your support your local comic shop, and read comics.
And comment down below an entire script for a better Shazam movie.
Yeah, seriously, pitch it. Like, honestly, you probably could. Bye!